Hello students, we were discussing applications of an op-amp. Today in this lecture, we will further study some applications of op-amp. The first application we are going to discuss is AC amplifier. We will discuss a stable AC coupled amplifier. Friends, we have discussed op-amp as DC amplifier. In the same way, an op-amp can act as an AC amplifier in both the modes, that is in inverting mode and non-inverting mode. So in some applications we need amplification of AC signal and to block any DC signal present. Figure 1 shows a simple and stable AC amplifier where capacitor C blocks DC and resistance R and capacitor C together sets the low frequency 3 dB, that is 3 decibel gain response. Figure 2 represents the equivalent circuit. In this circuit, this heavy double-ended arrow represents the virtual ground. From this equivalent circuit we can see that output voltage as a function of complex variable S can be written as V0 is equal to minus I R dash. You can easily understand that current I is flowing through resistance R dash and which is equal to V0. This I current is same which is also flowing through the input circuit, that is through the resistance R, and therefore this I can be written as Vs divided by R plus Xc. We have a resistance and a capacitance, so the total impedance is R plus Xc and the current flowing through this input circuit is equal to Vs by R plus Xc. This is very simple. Now in place of Xc we can write 1 over Sc. This S is complex variable and as we can see this Xc is 1 over Sc, where S is equal to j omega, that is equal to j 2 pi f. So now we have output voltage and input voltage. So we can evaluate AVF, that is voltage gain. So AVF is equal to V0 by Vs, that is equal to minus of 1 by R plus 1 by Sc into R dash. We take R from the denominator common so that it becomes minus R dash by R into 1 by 1 plus 1 by SRC. Again, if you multiply numerator and denominator by S, it becomes minus R by R dash by R into S by S plus RC. If we put S is equal to 1 by RC, then we get, as we can see in equation 3, FL is equal to 1 by 2 RC. That is, this is the lower 3D frequency value, and also the midband gain can be evaluated by using much greater than 1 by 2 pi RC, and in that case AVF becomes minus R dash by R, which is equation number 4. Now, as we have done in the case of DC voltage amplifier, in the case of AC also we can use op amp as AC voltage follower, that is, to form a circuit in which output voltage follows the input voltage. This circuit is used to provide impedance buffering, that is, to connect a signal source with high internal source resistance to a load of low impedance. So let us see how this can be achieved in case of AC voltage follower. Figure 3 presents a practical high input impedance AC voltage follower. In this, C1 and C2 represent sort for all frequencies of operation. R1, R2 provide RC coupling and also allow a path for the DC input current into non-inverting terminal. In the absence of C2, we can see that AC signal would see an input resistance equal to 200 किलो ओम. क्योंकि हमने ये C2 को इग्नोर कर दिया या हटा दिया है, तो जो इनपुट सोर्स के लिए इनपुट रेजिस्टेंस होगा वो R1 प्लस R2 200 किलो ओम होगा. बट सिंस op amp is connected as voltage follower, और वोल्टेज फॉलोवर का गेन कितना होता है 1, so AV is nearly equal to 1. This input resistance source then sees the input resistance equal to R1 divided by 1 minus AV. तो इसका इनपुट रेजिस्टेंस अभी इस सर्किट में कितना हो जाएगा R1 डिवाइड बाई 1 माइनस AV, बट AV is equal to 1, so this input resistance will be very high. ये नीचे वाला फैक्टर आपका 1 माइनस AV 0 हो जाए तो ये आपका इन्फिनिटी हो जाएगा. So input resistance will be very high. Practically, it is found that at 100 Hz frequency, the input resistance is nearly 12 mega ohm, and at 1 kilohertz frequency, it is found to be about 100 mega ohms. So you can say it is very high input resistance. Next, we will see another very interesting application of op amp, that is analog integration. We can use an op amp as integrator, that is, the output will be the integration of input. This figure 1, as we can see, is an inverting amplifier with two resistances R and R dash. If in this inverting amplifier this resistance R dash is replaced by C, we obtain the circuit of figure 2. So in this case we have replaced R dash by C. Now the input voltage V, suppose V is a function of time. It may be of any form. Then we can see the point A in the circuit and also in the equivalent circuit given below. Is this point A is a virtual ground because the non-inverting terminal is grounded. So point A is also at virtual ground. And also therefore current I is equal to V by R. Point A is ground, so the whole voltage, input voltage V, drops across resistance R. So current flowing I through this is given by V by R. And also in the output, the current I can be written as minus dqc by dt. As you all know that current is rate of change of charge. This charge qc can be replaced by cv naught, and as the capacitance C is constant, we may take it out. So current I becomes minus C dV naught by dt. And if we rearrange this equation, we get dV naught is equal to minus 1 by C into I dt. And therefore V naught can be evaluated by integrating this above equation. So it becomes V naught is equal to minus 1 by C into I dt. Again, this I can be replaced by V by R as we have seen above. Then V naught is equal to minus 1 by RC into V dt. So you can see that this RC is constant. So we can say that output voltage is proportional to the integral of input voltage. That's why this circuit is called an integrator. Now suppose that this input voltage V is a constant represented by capital V. By putting this value, we can see that V naught is equal to minus V by RC into dt. That is, we can take this V out of the integration because now this V is constant. So this is only the integration of dt, which is time t. So this equation shows V naught is equal to minus V by RC into t. That is, V naught is proportional to time. So it is increasing with time. So it is a ramp. Such an integrator makes an excellent sweep circuit for the cathode ray oscilloscope. You all know that we need sweep circuit in oscilloscope, and this circuit can be used as a sweep, and this is called Miller integrator or Miller sweep. Now we will see the DC offset and bias current. The DC input offset voltage VIO that appears across the amplifier input, this is error voltage, and this will be integrated also. So it appears as a linearly increasing voltage, and also part of the input bias current will also flow through the feedback capacitor. It charges it and producing an additional linearly increasing voltage at the output. So we have extra 2 ramp voltages, and these 2 ramp voltages continue to increase until the amplifier reaches saturation. So saturation के बाद ये हमारा किसी काम का नहीं है, ठीक है, क्योंकि कॉन्स्टेंटली इंक्रीज हो रहा है तो एम्पलीफायर सैचुरेशन पे पहुंच जाएगा. सो ए लिमिट इज सेट ऑन द feasible integration time by the above error components. That is कि कितनी देर तक हम ये इंटीग्रेशन सर्किट यूज़ कर सकते हैं, उसकी लिमिट सेट हो जाती है इन एरर कंपोनेंट से. इफेक्ट ऑफ बायस करंट कैन बी मिनिमाइज्ड बाय इंक्रीजिंग द फीडबैक कैपेसिटर C while डिक्रीजिंग R. हमें RC मान लिया उतना ही चाहिए है, तो हम फीडबैक कैपेसिटर C को इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं और R को डिक्रीज कर देंगे, ठीक है, जिससे RC कांस्टेंट रहेगा. इससे हम इस बायस करंट का इफेक्ट मिनिमाइज कर सकते हैं. अभी हम देखेंगे द इफेक्ट ऑफ फाइनाइट गेन एंड बैंडविड्थ. दिस इंटीग्रेटर सर्किट supplies an output voltage proportional to the integral of input voltage, provided the op-amp has first infinite gain and infinite bandwidth. तो ये जो हमारा इंटीग्रेटर है ये अच्छे से जब तक ही काम करेगा एज एन इंटीग्रेटर जब दो कंडीशंस मेट होंगी. पहला, इसका गेन इनफाइनाइट होना चाहिए. सेकंड, बैंडविड्थ इनफाइनाइट होनी चाहिए. आपको पता है किसी भी प्रैक्टिकल सर्किट में ये दोनों चीज़ें पॉसिबल नहीं है, बस हम एक नियर अप्रोक्सीमेशन लेके चलते हैं. तो फॉर आइडियल इंटीग्रेटर this voltage gain as a function of complex variable S, that is j omega, can be written as AVF is equal to V naught by V is equal to minus Z dash by Z. और इसको हम सिंप्लीफाई करके लिख सकते हैं -1 बाई RCS. तो AVF is equal to -1 by RCS. This ideal integrator has a pole at the origin. अब ये पोल क्या है, आपने पढ़ाई होगा कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स में. पोल हम किसको बोलते हैं, यहाँ पे any value of S for which AVF tends to infinity is a pole. तो यहाँ पे पोल क्या होगा, S इज इक्वल टू 0 एक पोल होगा ओरिजिन पे, ठीक है. अब प्रैक्टिकल इंटीग्रेटर जिसमें फाइनाइट गेन हो और फाइनाइट बैंडविड्थ हो, उसकी वैल्यू क्या होगी वो भी हम देखते हैं. प्रैक्टिकल इंटीग्रेटर के लिए वन AVF की जो वैल्यू होगी, AVF इज इक्वल टू -S1 बाई RC इंटू AV नॉट इंटू 1 बाई S plus AV naught S1 into S minus 1 by RC AV naught. So this is for practical integrator, and as you can see in this function there are two poles on the negative real axis, while there was only one pole for the ideal integrator. On the next page, in figure 16.11 shows the board plots for these both cases, that is for the ideal integrator and for the practical integrator with finite gain and finite bandwidth. In this figure we can see the dark line shows the real integrator and the dotted line shows the ideal integrator. This real integrator acts as an ideal integrator only between these two limits f1 f2 f2f, and its behavior deviates below this frequency f1f and above this frequency F to F. Also, when we use this integrator in a practical circuit, then उस केस में हम कुछ एक्सटर्नल सर्किट भी इसमें लगाना चाहेंगे जिससे कि हम इनिशियल कंडीशंस इसके अंदर पुट कर सकें. We have used a ganged switch which have two parts SA and SB which operates together. That is, when one is on position 1, the other will also be on position 1, and when one is on 2, the other one will also be on 2. So when this switch is in position 1, that is both SA and SB are in position 1, then input is grounded, so input V is equal to 0, and output is attached to voltage V, so output is V, and in that case this capacitor charged to a value V. When we now switch S in position 2, it will act as an integrator. So its value now becomes V0 is equal to V plus K into VDT, integration VDT. That is, output is V plus a constant times the time integral of input voltage V. So ये इसका प्रैक्टिकल सर्किट है जो हमने अभी डिस्कस किया. तो मिनिमम ऑफसेट एरर के लिए हम एक कंडीशन इसमें कोशिश करेंगे. IB1 into R1 is equal to IB2 into R2. That is, the same input current flows through both the input terminals. As you know that input current in both the terminals is negligible, and that current also must be almost equal. So this is the condition, and this is all about op amp as an integrator.